Well, we're leaving Horse Thief Lake and going towards the backside of Mount Rushmore. Please enjoy my stories or whatever else might be on my mind today. The first thing we're going to see here is the side of George's Head. No, this road does not go through a tunnel. Nor does this motorhome go through a tunnel. That's on the Needles Highway, and RVs can't go on that road.
Just back there when you come out of it, it's hardly a tunnel.
Yeah, that's one of the tunnels that big vehicles can't go through. Sorry, there's this ugly old motorhome in your picture, ma'am. And as promised, there's the side of George Washington's head. I'm going to move on because there's a whole bunch of people that want to take a picture of something other than this piece of crap I'm driving. And I've been here before. When I was in college, I worked at Mount Rushmore. I was a fry cook. That was a long time ago. Quite often along here you'll see a mountain goat. This service road up here where it says do not enter is actually the entrance to the employee housing. And we all stayed in the dormitory back there. Boys in dormitory and the girls dormitory. The entrance to Mount Rushmore Memorial is free, but the parking is a private concession and it's $10. There's Mount Rushmore. I'm not stopping here. We're going to go on down to the little tourist town of Keystone and find a RV dump station. This is a very steep grade. I think it's 6%. And it's a mile and a half down. So I've got it in granny, first gear. Trying not to wear out the brakes or smoke them. Probably hear the engine roaring. Let it get up to about 3,000 RPM and then I step on the brake. You don't want to hold your brakes all the time. You'll make them too hot. This is Keystone, South Dakota at the foot of Mount Rushmore. When I worked up here, there was a older Indian gentleman. We called them Indians then, not Native Americans or First Peoples or whatever. And his name was Ben Blackup. And Ben Black Elk had a degree from college, but he stood up here in his full headdress and let the tourists take pictures of him for $1. And he'd never speak English. He'd say things like, "How, cola," which meant, "Hello, friend." And since he knew that I grew up down on the reservation and spoke a little bit of Lakota, he'd come into the snack bar where I worked up there at Mount Rushmore, and he'd speak to me in Indian, and everybody, you know, bought his stick. And he was a real Indian, but very well educated, and those dollars enabled him to stay in his condo in Mesa, Arizona in the wintertime. He was the first face televised over the communications satellite Telstar. I'm sure Ben's looking down here, smiling at me, telling this story. That one looks a little narrow. I think I'll go in the middle. This block here is the definition of tourist trap. Right over here they park all the Harleys. They back them up to the curb, but we had that little Honda one time. Lynn and I were here. I talked her into coming down here to get a root beer float. Matter of fact, I had to promise her 3 of them just to get her on the back of it. And I got to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Park. I don't care if I'm holding up traffic, but I got to go down here and find the dump station. They told me it was down here. Oh, I think I'm supposed to be over there, on the other side of the crap.
You can't do 2 things at one time.
Yes, I can. I can do multiple things at one time. Keep your eye open for it. Keep your keep your eye open for a dump station. He said as soon as you cross that bridge, so they must have been talking about that bridge back there that's on the other side of the river. That there was a dump station for free.
There ain't nothing on this side.
Well, I have to go up here and make a U-turn. There it is, right there. Isn't that a dump station? Right there. It is. Yes. So, is this another bridge? Can I go across that bridge? Well, we're going to find out. It doesn't say anything about don't go across the bridge, does it? Okay, now the dump station is over there. Perfect. Employee parking. Well, I'm going to be an employee for a minute. Okay, YouTube, I'm going to do you a favor and shut off the camera. Well, the dumping went just fine. And thought I'd take a picture of this wild place. There's the 1880 train station. When I worked at Mount Rushmore, a bunch of us went back up there in the hills with water balloons and threw them down on the open cars. Now you realize I'm talking about 50 years ago. Well, yeah, 50 years ago. And I wasn't as grown up as I am now, or something like that. Rapid City, 20 miles. Uh-oh, a tunnel. This is not one of the tunnels I was talking about.